Hey guys, welcome to Meta's quarterly report Q4 23. Highlights today will be revenue, business model updates, and AI. So starting with revenue, really very strong result, 16% year-on-year growth, and that was far better than, let's say, Google, who had reported just the day prior and who'd been a bit disappointing. So share price went up a lot, and yeah, great results on many fronts. Here you see the net income, so bottom line has stayed very efficient after last year being titled the year of efficiency by Mark Zuckerberg. So really fantastic result. They're returning capital as well as dividend to the shareholders. And business model updates. So this is the canvas. You can read the free article on our website. And also, if you want to get started in more detail, the cheapest way to get started is our BMAP, or you take it a notch further with our case studies. So revenue analysis and revenue trends. This is basically building on the last quarter. The trends have firmed up even more. So 16% compared to, I think, 8 or 9% with Google, and let's say the peers, the larger tech giants in the 11 to 13% year on year. So really standout result here. Then the continuation from last quarter, if you have watched our video then, strong verticals being e-commerce, online commerce, CPG, so consumer packaged goods, and entertainment, media, and gaming. Some of those were, again, continuing trend, advertisers in China trying to reach people in other markets. So China-based advertisers made 10% of the overall revenue and continued 5% to overall growth worldwide. So that is pretty staggering. And I think I may not have it here, but in the follow-up call, they said basically about 80% of that revenue is made by the top 10 advertisers within China. So you got the Pareto method supercharged there. And within that, as mentioned, year-on-year growth on a geographical basis is Europe. So this is where the user is. So if, let's say, a China-based advertiser wants to advertise to someone in Europe, then that is goes to the average revenue per user in Europe. Anyway, so these are the numbers. I think we don't need to go too much into those details. This was also, again, ad impressions were growing very fast, and that led to an average price increase per ad of, let's say, only $2%. So that was not the driver of the 16% really. It was more volume based. And yeah, so that was continuation from last quarter as well. Growth in particular in the lower monetizing countries and services. Services being things like real in this case, without calling it out. And still very relevant and very strong continuation of growth in WhatsApp. That has been, you may remember, been asked many times in a row in each of the quarterly reports over the last 3 years. How are you going to monetize WhatsApp? How are you going to monetize WhatsApp? So basically they're gaining momentum there. So continuation, so here you really can learn how these guys are thinking, how the big players are thinking. It's not just numbers that we reiterate in here. So what are the two main drivers for revenue performance? And check out at least the last 2 videos on Meta, where we've been talking about this, but we're just going to build on what we've been talking about. So the two main drivers: deliver engaging experiences and efficiency at monetizing. So number 1, engaging experiences. So basically session per user, daily usage, etc. Watch time across all video types grew 25% year on year. That's a very strong result, and driven by ongoing ranking improvements. So in a moment, we'll talk about AI, and AI-based ranking and recommendation improvements has driven this. Very important to know these kind of things. In feed, so again, this came up, I think, at least definitely the last time, but probably the last 2 times. And also driven by AI, in-feed recommendations from accounts you're not accounted to has grown, and that was a novelty, as mentioned, either last quarter or 2 quarters ago. Instagram, update on Instagram, so increased freshness of recommended content which is great to know. So I think they had a number of signals going into that algorithm, and so they're just trying to say that freshness is probably being ramped up in its importance a bit more. Facebook, again, similar to what we've seen here, video experiences and ranking. So a lot what is here is really going on to the algorithm side of things. Fascinating, as I think. Don't forget to press the like button if you're liking this video. Then again, building on what we said last time, check it out because we did provide a fair bit of detail. That was one of the main news last quarter, which was their Meta AI assistant. And this time now just a few additions. So they're announcing 20 new features will come along. They have announced that it's been fully rolled out in the US. And underlying model Llama 3, which is also has lots of... so Mark Zuckerberg, when he spoke, he talked a lot about open innovation, and this Llama 3 models, those foundational models, are getting a lot of open innovation and open sourcing support. So they're going to be underpinning the usefulness of the Meta AI assistant, which is very good because it helps to, I think, broaden the use cases and the stability and reliability of those products, which, as you see, are going into basically all of their users. And well, I'll come back to the Meta AI assistant in a moment. Then the other one, their typical approach now, we're going to lean into growth, make the products stable, mature, reliable, then grow them, and then look into monetization next. So basically they're trying to say, hey guys, don't ask us too much about how we're going to monetize and how much money the Meta AI assistant made. We're going to let you know over the years. All right, so number 2, monetization efficiency as a revenue driver. So 3 points, ABC, growing level of ad inventory within organic engagement. That's really great that they're talking about these kind of things now, because I will say Facebook has been always very obvious that they are targeting based on interest, etc., but often not in context. So the organic engagement with ads may be on the lower side of things, and therefore that's something they're working on. Let's say you've been presented your feed with your friends talking about their holidays. Well, what's going to be placed better in there? Holiday related ads, or is it an IT related ad better placed? You know the answer. So those kind of things is what they're talking about here with organic engagement. Again, it's an algorithm thing. You can build the feed this way or that way, but if you build it in a way that the ads are context sensitive, that makes a lot more sense. So next one, again, quite a few of these we've been talking about last time. Ranking improvements, AI to use ranking improvement. Then advertisers automate a campaign, parts or fully automate a campaign. So basically this is the Advantage Plus product, and similar in regards to Google, the PMax campaigns, which also automate a lot. And then basically use of AI for the ad creatives, text variations, image expansions, etc. And check out our Adobe Q4 update. There's quite a bit that we've talked about what they are doing in that regard. And so basically ad and marketing performance improvements is point B, and C is engaging on platform ads. Again, click to message, WhatsApp, for example, and and the shopping ads, they're saying doing really well, $2 billion annual run rate as of Q4. And we are doing these kind of things a bit fast, but if you want to learn really the details behind all the digital business models, check out our course, our flagship course, and you will learn a lot. Now, AI, Metaverse, and Reality Labs. So if you listen to the webcast, I think Mark spent his first 10 minutes on AI and their philosophy. It was all fairly not philosophical, but quite abstract. But the main things were around, it was very interesting, basically their AI assistant. And basically what they're saying is sooner than later, they will offer their businesses, creators, to integrate AI via the Meta AI Studio into their platforms. So across all of Meta's products, being Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Threads, etc., Messenger, the businesses can integrate an AI and set it up in a way that it supports their customers. So the Meta's business customers. And that's going to be really, really interesting to see. So, and again, they think it will play together with their smart glasses, etc. What he also said and went out about for quite a bit, he said he believes this will require full general intelligence AI models. So previously I thought that because of the many tools were social, commerce, or media oriented, that it would be best to have models that solve and specialize on a subset of AI challenges. But now it's clear that we're going to need models that will be able to reason, plan, code, remember many other cognitive abilities. Last time, I'll check out our last video where we talked at length about Google's Gemini model. Basically the same thing. It is a more general purpose foundational set of models with multimodal learning on the input and output side. And this is what also Mark Zuckerberg was talking about. So quite a bit of similarities. And even if you go back to our Adobe, they, with their Sensei model, which is for Adobe experiences and parts of Adobe Creative, there's also an underlying foundational general model. So there's similarities here. And maybe, I mean, in Facebook's case, maybe it is even the bad experience that they had a few years ago with their science that was fully specialized on science. I think it was called Galactica, and they had to take it offline within, well, less than a week. That was a pretty bad experience that they had then. And now coming to further to their VR products. Here again, this is why I've been probably been ahead of the game. They're rolling out their multimodal AI, and multimodal in this case, well, yeah, image processing, and so the user can point the camera on something and try to find something related, try to find out where they are, and so on. So this is, he believes, Mark Zuckerberg, that all of this will come together. Their AI models, their VR world, the Metaverse, and everything connected, the hardware as well. So very interesting. We'll see what comes out of it. I have been talking a lot more about the smart glasses last time. Check it out if you think that is of interest for you, because I do believe that this has quite a bit of potential. As for the VR headsets, well, certainly they will take their place in the gaming world, and beyond that, probably education and a fair bit of other things as well. But that said, there's been a lot of money going into that. So now currently last quarter, it was 4.5 billion that went into that, or operating loss actually, because revenue was 1 billion, grew 30% year on year, or more than 40 actually, but still significant operating loss. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. Check out our website. As always, this is for educational purposes only. It's not intended as investment advice and never will be. Thanks very much, guys.